Having comfortably arranged controls in sim racing is just as important as in real life. Today's video is about the latest iteration of my shifter cluster. Hope it is informative and will give you some ideas and inspiration for your projects. Hi, I'm Stujo and let's take a closer look at it in my garage. Over the years I tested a lot of solutions, both commercial and do-it-yourself, for mounting my shifter cluster. Whipping something from 4040 profiles is quite easy, but especially after motion I wanted to have something more compact. I was holding off buying this particular Trak Racer mount for some time, but at the end I decided to go for it. The Trak Racer Generation 2 shift mount is quite versatile and supports a lot of different hardware. It also features multiple mounting options. Of course, my SG Racing Sequential shifter wasn't supported, so I had to drill some new holes. I offsetted them as much as I could to the edge of the mount. I removed the original mounting plate and placed it directly on the Trak Racer one. The original bottom plate is quite thick, so I had to use some shorter screws here. Tightening everything properly resulted in a quite stable platform. This solution has the smallest possible footprint, and this leaves me enough space to mount my Hussingweld handbrake next to it. None of the holes would fit the body of the handbrake itself, so I had to use the mounting plate. In the current setup this is quite fine, as it doesn't add much to the footprint of the handbrake itself. I already knew which is the preferred angle for myself, so mounting it was quite an easy task. The Trak Racer mount has perfect sizing for my setup, and I have both units aligned properly as I'm used to. If the aluminum washer is removed, there will be even more space for fine adjustment. And now let's take a quick look at the mounting options. The distance plate is 92mm wide, so the whole assembly totals at about 130mm width. As usual with Trak Racer products, all mounting hardware is provided, including high quality self-locking nuts. Distance bracket can be mounted at two heights, also can be facing downwards or upwards. I mounted it this way so I have enough space to fit my H-pattern shifter underneath. You can also select if the whole assembly will be offset left or right. Next comes into play my mini control box. If you want to build one, you can find all the details on my website listed in the description. For all my fancy periphery like control boxes or displays, I generally use GoPro mounts and extensions. Fitting it in such way here is possible, but I have to drill another hole, so I went the old school way, used double-sided sticky tape. This transparent tape is very strong and can be used also in wet rooms like bathrooms, for example. I use it quite often on my sim rig with great success. It will be used also here to fit the Arduino box underneath the assembly. It's not the first time I mount this box here, so I know from experience it will hold well. There is another hidden feature here, a removable mouse pad. It is a very simple assembly, but it works quite well. The reason it is removable is not the H-pattern shifter, you can use it even with the mouse pad attached. The truth is quite different though. I need to be able to quickly attach my joystick. This is part of another upcoming video which will feature my DIY throttle for flight simulators. Converting the rig into flight mode takes almost no time. Slide in the assembly, tighten it and plug in the USB cable in the extension mounted on the shifter cluster. Even with a heavy joystick like the Verpil here, the assembly is quite stiff and stable. I was rethinking my shifter cluster arrangement for some time, especially after adding motion in the system, so the Trak Racer Generation 2 shifter mount came quite handy here. I was able to mount both my full-size sequential shifter and handbrake in a very comfortable manner with the smallest footprint possible. Underneath them I have enough room to hide some controllers, cables and an extension USB cord used for connecting my joystick. Also my BDHH pattern shifter fits nicely in the correct position. The platform is very stable and provides more than enough support for the shifter. You can see also here the H-pattern shifter is very accessible in this position. Same goes for the handbrake. Amazingly I have even less flex than my last solution. The control box is also very accessible and well positioned. And to top off everything I added an Aura bass shaker. It was very easy to mount it with only two screws, which also hold the whole assembly to the 4040 profile. I could mount it on top more securely, but there was no point in doing it. There is no extra vibrations, traveling or sound. In this configuration, tactile feedback is amazingly strong in all three control devices. For the price of €35 by the time this review was made, the Trak Racer Generation 2 shifter mount is a very good addition to any sim rig. If you have to mount more than one additional control, it's practically a no-brainer. It is about 13 cm wide and it provides enough large platform to mount a full-size sequential shifter and a handbrake together. With the reversible button distance bracket, I was able to fit my edge pattern shifter below it quite comfortably. The construction is amazingly stable and provides very good platform for my full-size controls, as it's obvious on this footage here. It has noticeably less flex than the solution based on aluminum extrusions I used before. Additional bonus is this flat surface. I was able to mount a full-size bass shaker. Getting rid of all the 40-40 additional profiles and mounting it so directly gives me much better tactile feedback. I am able to feel deep, very convincing vibration from engine sound and gear shift in all my three control devices at less volume on the shaker. Also, it allowed me to clear a lot of space in front where I am planning to put new button box which will resemble a central console. The unique construction of the Trak Racer Generation 2 shifter mount allows it to be mounted in several different positions. You can opt in for mounting it left or right, offset from the mounting profile you are attaching it to. It also features two height positions. I was able to mount it highest so I can drop my support bar lower and clear some space for my knees. Having most of your hardware attached to the shift mount itself, it's very easy to reposition it for fine adjustments. It's held in place by only 4 bolts and it is quite easy to be removed when you're doing maintenance. It was very easy also to accommodate my edge pattern shifter, as it has tension adjuster which sticks upwards and needs some space to be aligned properly. It was a breeze to align all my controls properly and it reduced clutter quite a lot. As I am constantly changing something on my rig, now it will be much more easier to remove the complete shifter assembly and deal with it faster. Trak Racer are offering extensions even for this product, but I never needed them. As you can see, I managed to fit everything together using only the shifter mount. It is universal, but as you can expect, you will not be able to mount everything you throw at it. Sometimes you have to drill it, which is quite easy thing to do. For the price they are selling it, I will never second guess myself or have any constraint in drilling some holes and mounting whatever I want to it. It is easier to use, better looking, much more versatile and extremely stable solution than the same thing made out from aluminum extrusion profiles. Personally, I regret saving those €35 and not buying this thing sooner. It simplified quite a lot my life in the sim rig and I believe it will continue to do so in the future. If you are interested in Trak Racer products, I will include some discount codes in the description below. Hope this video gave you some new ideas and see you next time.